Welcome back to the human condition. In this series, we're exploring how the mind and body mirror the architecture of a computer, one component at a time. Last time, we looked at the CPU, the part of you that thinks, reasons, calculates, and tries to solve life through logic. But thinking isn't the whole story. Today, we're stepping into the world of feeling, into the place where reality isn't just computed, it's rendered. This is your GPU, your graphics processing unit, the emotional and intuitive engine that turns raw data into living experience. This is how we see reality, and some systems operate on epic and others are contained to lower resolution for better performance and experience. And after this module, we still have 6 components left to explore. Memory, cooling systems, storage drives, input-output, all the pieces that make your human condition breathe and respond to the world around you. Let's dive into Module 3. Because without emotional processing, you don't just lose color, you lose connection to life itself. Component 3, GPU, emotional reality rendering. How you feel shapes what you see. Most people think of emotions as messy, inconvenient, unreliable. But in a computer, there's one component responsible for turning abstract data into vivid, immersive experiences, the GPU, or your graphics processing unit. And in your system, that's your emotional and intuitive intelligence. Just like a GPU renders the visual world in a game. Lighting, shadows, textures, depth, all of it is your emotions rendering reality. They don't just color your perception, they create it. They tell you what's safe, what's urgent, what's beautiful, what's real. They define the tone of your experience in every moment. Without a GPU, a computer can still think, but it can't see. Without emotional intelligence, a human can still function, but they can't feel. And if you can't feel, how can you truly live? Your emotional GPU handles sensory richness, empathy, intuition, gut instincts, internal signals like anxiety, joy, grief, symbolism, dreams, memory resonance, and creative imagination. And when it's running well, you see more. You feel deeper. You connect faster. It's the part of you that walks into a room and senses something's off. The part that knows someone's lying, even if they say all the right things. The part that can imagine entire worlds and feel truth without having to explain it. When the GPU overheats. But just like with a real GPU, emotional processing can overheat, especially if the system never gets a chance to rest, release, or express. Emotional flooding, shutdown or numbness, mood swings. Burnout from holding space for everyone else. Deep, intuitive disconnection, that lingering static of, why do I feel everything and nothing at the same time? These aren't emotional failures. They're the signs of a graphics card running too hot for too long. The CPU versus GPU conflict. Most people try to solve emotional issues with logic. But a CPU can't render feelings, it can only analyze them. That's why you can't think your way through heartbreak. That's why you can't rationalize your way out of trauma. The CPU keeps asking, why? When the GPU just wants to be seen. Regulating the GPU. What cools emotional overload? Creative expression, art, music, movement, emotional validation from others or self, breathwork and nervous system release. Time and nature, low-res input equals GPU recovery. Storytelling and journaling. Turning feeling into image or metaphor. Gentle presence from others who don't need to fix you. These aren't luxuries. They're maintenance protocols. You don't upgrade your GPU by pushing it harder. You upgrade it by honoring its limits and expanding its input range. Core truth of Component 3. Your emotions don't distort reality. They define it. What you feel shapes what you see. And if you ignore the render, you lose the richness of the game. If you're still here by the end, thank you for breathing with me through this part of the journey. I'm not here to chase likes, subs, or shares. Your emotions shape your reality, and so does mine. If this series breathes life into your field, you'll find your way back naturally. And if it doesn't, don't hesitate to hit the dislike button. Seriously, if we're not breathing the same air, there's no need to pretend. Either way, thank you for stepping through this layer with me. And if you're still breathing with me tomorrow, I'll meet you at Component 4, the human condition of RAM.